So, welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. The idea is very simple. We want you to revise your current affairs because revision is very important if you're serious about your prelims examination. 40 to 50% of the MCQs, trust me, 40 to 50% of the MCQs are directly or indirectly related to current affairs. Therefore, you cannot ignore current affairs at all. And what better way to prepare for your current affairs for your prelims examination than by getting the much needed MCQ practice? Because MCQ practice comes in really handy for prelims examination. Now, if you will make this lecture series a part of your daily routine, well, these 4 to 5 MCQs covered on a daily basis would add up to more than 1200 MCQs. And 1200 MCQs from the topic of current affairs alone are more than sufficient. You wouldn't have to worry about your current affairs portion while appearing for your prelims examination. So, needless to say this, make this lecture series a part of your daily routine. And we'll begin today's session with question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding Rashtriya Gokul Mission. It is an initiative launched in 2020 for development and conservation of indigenous bovine breeds in India. It is a 100% grant and aid scheme by central government implemented by Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. This mission aims to expand the coverage of artificial insemination techniques in India. Now look, way back in 1960s and 70s, India launched Operation Flood, which was basically a mission to enhance milk production in India, right? It was for milk. And this Operation Flood bore dividends as well. It made India the largest producer of milk in the world. Largest. All right? And there is good reason for that. India is the largest producer of milk in the world, but that is because of India's cattle population. Okay? India has one of the highest cattle population in the world. But though we should be happy about the fact that India is the largest producer of milk in the world, as far as productivity is concerned, production is fine. But as far as productivity is concerned, India's cattle productivity is very low. Okay, now what do I mean by productivity? Well, this is milk produced per cattle. Okay, so milk produced per cattle in India is very low, but India becomes a global leader because of cattle population. Therefore, it was thought way back in 60s, 70s, 80s also that to improve productivity, we need to import foreign breeds of cow. Okay, like Jersey cow and many others. So we brought in foreign breeds of cow. Now their productivity was high. But these cattle, these foreign breeds were not accustomed to Indian climate. That is why they were in almost entirely, every time, they were infected with diseases because they were not immune to Indian climate and Indian diseases, which Indian cattle were. Therefore, these foreign breeds could not enhance India's productivity because they had a lot of disease related issues. Okay. So what did India think of next? India thought that let's crossbreed them with Indian breeds. So they'll get the best of both worlds. Okay. They'll get high milk productivity from foreign breeds and disease resistance from Indian breeds. So this crossbred cattle would have the best of both worlds. But still, this was also not doing enough for improving productivity in India. Now, India thought that we should basically enhance productivity of our own indigenous breed. Don't think about crossbreeds, don't think about foreign breeds. We should enhance the productivity of our own indigenous Indian breeds. And that can be done by various scientific techniques, genetic manipulation, artificial insemination, and whatnot. You can do a lot of things to develop India's and conserve India's own breeds. And for that reason and that reason alone, India launched Rashtriya Gokul Mission in 2014 with the sole aim of development and conservation of indigenous breeds in India. Okay, so it is an initiative for development and conservation of indigenous bovine breeds in India is absolutely correct, but it was launched in 2014, not 20. So for this word 2020, first statement is false. Now, it is almost entirely financed by central government. It is a 100% grant and aid scheme by central government. Okay, this is true with a few exceptions though. There are some areas where central government doesn't bear the entire expenditure, but mostly it is 100% grant and aid scheme by central government. And it is not implemented by Ministry of Agriculture. It is implemented by Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry, and Dairying. Okay, so this statement is also false. The mission aims to expand the coverage of artificial insemination techniques in India. That is true. In under this mission, artificial insemination techniques would be expanded. Okay, so that breeding improves, research would be done, genetic research would be done, all sorts of things would be done to improve the lot of indigenous cattle breed in India. Okay, so third statement is correct. Only one statement is correct. The answer is A. Question number 2. Which of the following statements are correct regarding Samarth Incubation Initiative? It is an initiative to groom startups for innovation in telecom and IT. It is launched by Center for Development of Telematics with Software Technology Parks of India as the implementation partner. The program has a maximum cohort size of 18 startups per program with a total of 36 startups across 2 cohorts of 6 months each. Okay. So recently, CDOT, Center for Development of Telematics, which is under Department of Telecommunication in India, they launched Samarth Incubation Initiative. And under this incubation initiative, basically, we will mentor startups in high-tech field, in fields of, well, 21st century, okay, like AI, 5G, Internet of Things, big data, 3D printing, all that. Okay, so these startups will be groomed, basically mentored. Okay, they will be provided with required funding, technical support, mentorship support, and networking support, also infrastructure support, also if they need any labs and all. Okay, so it is an initiative to groom startups for innovation in telecom and IT. Absolutely correct. It was launched by CDOT, and Software Technology Parks of India is the implementation partner. Absolutely correct. Now, under this initiative, various programs would be launched. Okay, with each program, you can enroll 18 startups that you will groom. Okay, and in total, you can have 36 startups across 2 cohorts, 2 programs of 6 months each, together, simultaneous. Okay, so this part is also correct. But remember, only those startups would be allowed under the scheme which are already recognized by Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, which is under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So DPIIT recognized startups are only allowed under this scheme. But nonetheless, all 3 statements are correct. The answer is D. Question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding APAR ID. Automated Permanent Academic Account Registry is a National Education Policy 2020's record-keeping reforms. It is mandatory for students to have a unique ID called APAR ID, which is linked to consolidated academic records of the student. Student records are consolidated under DigiLocker. Okay. So look, National Education Policy talked about reforms in our education system. Okay. One such reform was Automated Permanent Academic Account Registry. What will happen under this is that each and every student, whether that student is in school or higher education institutions like university, colleges, well, they will be given a student ID. Okay, it will be a unique 12-digit ID, like the Aadhaar ID. And the student ID will be your unique identifier, basically, and it will be linked to your Aadhaar also. Okay, so every student will have a unique identifier called this APAR ID or student ID. Okay, now with this student ID, all your academic records, like your 10th certificate, 12th certificate, all your extracurricular certificates in school, colleges, everything, all your academic records that you require for applying for a job or shifting to another college or applying for master's or PhD, all these academic records will be consolidated in one place, linked to your student ID, and would be kept in DigiLocker. Okay, this is online, basically online in DigiLocker. Now, this would really simplify the things, because when you have to apply to any company or any other college or anywhere, or you want to shift colleges or shift universities, well, you have to fill out a lot of forms and you have to supply all these academic documents. You don't have to do that anymore. You just have to provide your student ID, and these companies or universities or colleges would look for your academic records on their own. Clear? So this would really simplify seamless movement of students between colleges, between universities. Multiple entry and exit points also would also be provided, that a student left college and then came back to complete it. All these things would be done. Clear? Now this was automated permanent. This is basically automated permanent academic account registry. It was under NEP's record keeping reforms. Absolutely correct. Now the thing is, and you have to remember this, this scheme is voluntary. It's not mandatory. Okay, it's voluntary. I mean, it's the choice of the student. And in case the student is a minor, school-going student, then it's the choice of their parents, their guardians, to opt for this scheme or not. So it is mandatory for students to have unique ID called APAR ID. Absolutely incorrect. On paper, this thing is voluntary. Student records are consolidated under DigiLocker. This part is correct. 1 and 3 are correct. The answer is C. And last but definitely not the least, which of the following statements are correct regarding Pepsu Muzhara movement? Muzaras were landless tenant farmers of Punjab who were protesting for ownership rights on the pieces of land they farmed. Pepsu was a reorganized province of the princely states of West Punjab where these farmers were protesting. This movement started in 1930s and went on till 1950s when the land reforms were implemented. Okay. So first of all, you need to know who Muzaras were. So in Punjab, basically, well, there were these landless tenant farmers. They did not own the land, but they did farming there and they had to pay land revenue on it. So these landless tenant farmers were exploited by the landlords. Okay, landlords and authorities above them. Okay, so these people, Muzharas, these landless tenant farmers, way back in British time also, before 1947, they started protesting against this exploitation and they would demanded ownership rights for their own land on which they are farming. Because they were not the owners of this land. The zamindars or the landlords were the owners of this land. They wanted ownership of this land. Clear? So they started their protest in 1930s in Punjab. And these protests went on even after independence until in 1950s, land reforms were implemented and these people were given land ownership rights. Okay, so Muzaras were landless tenant farmers of Punjab who were protesting for ownership rights on the pieces of land they farmed. Absolutely correct. Now the thing is, before 1956, or I should say before 1947, during the British rule, Punjab as we know it had two parts. Okay, now, and I'm talking about United Punjab. Like I'm also talking about Punjab that is now with Pakistan. Okay, so before 1947, Punjab was basically divided into two parts. One was the British Punjab, which was part of British India. Okay, and the other was princely states. Princely state of Patiala, princely states of Jean, and many other princely states. Okay. Now the thing is that when India got independence, I'm sorry, the spellings of princely states over here are incorrect. Okay. So when India got independence, government of India wanted to, or people who were in power, they wanted to reorganize the map of India, reorganize the states. All right. So what happened? The Punjab, the portion of Punjab which was with British India was called Punjab. Okay, it was kept Punjab. But all these princely states of Punjab, who were ruled by princes and kings, okay, like Patiala and many other, they were consolidated, united, and they created another province called Pepsu, Punjab and East Punjab States Union. Okay, sorry, Patiala and East Punjab States Union. So Punjab had two portions. One was Punjab and the other was called Pepsu. Okay, you should remember this. So Punjab and Patiala and East Punjab States Union, Pepsu, another province was formed in 1948, and it was in 1956 that it was later merged with Punjab, and today we see Punjab. The Punjab as we know it right now was basically at one point of time divided into two parts. Okay, and Pepsu was one of them. Now these Muzaras were basically protesting in Pepsu. Okay, the landlords of Pepsu. So Pepsu was reorganized province of princely states of West Punjab, no East Punjab, because West Punjab is now with Pakistan. So this is false. The movement started in 1930s and went on till 1950s when land reforms were implemented. This part is correct. Okay, and the answer is 1 and 3 only, C. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I'm sure it has added value to your preparation. But I say this every time, I'll say it again. It will add more value if you revise this lecture as well. And by revision, I mean spending another 5 to 10 minutes taking a look at written detailed solutions to each and every MCQ we just discussed. Okay, now these solutions will be available in our notes, and these notes are available on our Telegram channel. Now, where can you find our Telegram channel? Well, just below this video in the comment section, you'll find a link. Just click on that link. It will take you to our Telegram channel, and from there you can download the notes for this lecture and do the necessary revision. On that note, I'll be signing off with the promise of seeing you again with another set of MCQs. Thank you, everyone.